The heist. They spent the night's end huddled around that small map, formulating a plan to infiltrate the headquarters of... It would be no small feat. A modern facility equipped with all manner of technology, not to mention the swarm of clipboards that would most certainly be scattered throughout. By the time the sun began to peek through the car window used as a makeshift balcony door, all were in agreement. This could just work. The final day before the festival would be used to prepare. They'd need to pool every resource at their disposal, pull every favor with a thread. Even enlist some unsavory characters around town with important tasks only they were suited for.
Unsavory characters? Is it gonna be Iggy?
Luckily, there was enough ill will and mistrust toward Perennial Harvest that alliances could be found at a bargain. Luka, Beck, and Rolo rubbed their eyes as they exited the treehouse. They hadn't slept at all that night. There was no time. The festival was to begin in one day, and they...
All right, quick recap. Rolo, you're gonna talk to Roxy cordially. Without her and Fitz, just whole things could go bust. Me, Cordile is my middle name. How do you plan to explain your new
vaguely at Rolo's sizable figure.
circumstance? Bah, she'll be so happy I'm alive, she won't even notice.
Beck snorted an involuntary giggle.
And Beck, you're sure Iona won't shoot this whole thing down when she hears it? She'll listen. Once she understands the danger Nellie is in, the danger we're all in, the plan will make sense. Okay. That leaves me with Jeff and then Iggy. How are you gonna persuade them? I'll think of something.
They each looked at each other with sleepy confidence and nodded.
Well, Godspeed. Iggy and Tish. So in one of the storylines, Iggy sacrificed himself, but we still all froze to death. His sacrifice was nothing. We did get a word from him, so I guess it wasn't for naught. Let's see. We gotta find Jeff, which I'm not sure where he'd be. Undaunted, he shook his head. Over no, endings are merely a state of mind. This doesn't end until I give up. Wow. I admire the conviction. But can he really pull through? Not sure who she's supposed to be. Talk to me. Nope. I'm busy reading my book. I ain't gonna talk to you. Go this way. You talk to this person? Nope. Where would... It's wrong button. We need to find Jeff and Iggy and Tish, but where would they be? Maybe at the library? Well, there's Jeff. What can I do for you? Well, I know how much you hate Perennial Harvest. Hate's a strong word. Oh, sorry, I didn't say it was the wrong word. Gotcha. So we're gonna break into their headquarters, and I thought you might be able to help.
Jeff wheezed out a long snicker.
Yeah, see, I knew you kids were all right. Great, so you'll help?
Joy in Jeff's face drained instantly.
Not a chance. But give me a good reason I should risk my hide aiding and abetting you rascals.
Into the sullen eyes of his would-be accomplice, Luka blurted out the first word that came to mind.
Junk. Yeah, what of it? Sonny, I've got more junk than a king has copper. Ain't interested. Oh no.
Luka wasn't ready to give up so easily. He shouted out again.
Fights? Let's do crooked. You're all crooks. Like cockroaches. Stamp one out and another comes scurrying along to take its place. Okay, so it wasn't that one. Let's do shit. Yeah, it's all shit. They still ain't helping. Ain't that some shit? Persistence? Fight. I've done enough fighting for one lifetime and more than my share of losing. Time's come to hang up the gloves. Try everything,
Jeff's
hide.
brow perked up.
What'd you say? Go ahead and hide
Sensing
then.
some traction, Luka carried on with vigor.
Let a bunch of kids do what needs to be done. You were not
Jeff's
afraid.
scowl faded with a sigh.
Say what you will about old Jeff and then I'll do. But you'll never hear him say I hide from nothing.
One good stomp of the foot was all Jeff needed to drive his point home.
What was it you kids needed? Some sort of disguise. I got just the thing. And while we're at it, that crate should come in handy. This ain't gonna be free, you know. I'm thinking 5 bags of sour gobs should cover it. Put it on my
Luka
tab.
offered out his open hand to seal the deal. With a firm and dusty grip, Jeff reciprocated.
Done. Swing by first thing in the morning. Okay, so we did that. The other two are in here. They're not going to tell me anything. I'm not sure what other place those two would be hiding. Tish and Iggy. Oh, there they are. Hey Tish, look who it is. Luka, are you here to try and tickle us to death again? Just look, hear me out.
Iggy raised an eyebrow suspiciously.
We're listening. Iggy, I know we're both been giant bags of shit to each other.
Iggy gave a reluctant shrug.
You're not wrong. But lately, life has been kind of... oh no. Hard? You know? Yeah, well, life's always hard. Get over it. We ain't interested. Gotta use the right
Luka
combinations of
knew they'd need
words.
Iggy and Tish to pull this off. He tried again.
Iggy, I needed a bags of... Okay, we'll do shit again.
Iggy gave a reluctant shrug.
We know that Iggy just really wants to be friends with Luka and Rolo. Like, he's jealous of them. Let's do crooked. Crooked? Yeah, well, life's always crooked. Get over it. Oh, God. Why not? Be my friend.
Iggy gave a reluctant shrug.
Strange.
Iggy considered the point.
Things have been weird around here. So I'm offering a truce and asking for your help. What do you say? We... hide? Our hostilities, at least for now. Hide? We ain't no cowards. Buzz off. Oh, dang it. Kid. Okay, we know it's shit.
Iggy gave a reluctant shrug.
We know it's strange.
Iggy considered the point.
Maybe it's break. Break our hostilities, at least for now. We do like breaking things, even if a truce means less breaking things. What if I told you there was a way to have a truce and break stuff? Go on. I need you to cause a distraction so I can sneak into Perennial Harvest HQ.
A wild-eyed grin spread across Iggy's face.
My, Luka Van Horn, I'm impressed. And after this is all done, maybe you and Tish can come hang out at the treehouse
Iggy
sometime.
glanced over to Tish, who nodded in agreement.
Fine. But not because we want to see your crappy treehouse. We just like to cause
With
chaos.
a quick nod, Luka was off.
Did you hear that, Tish?
Iggy gazed up at Tish with a smile.
He invited us to hang out at the
A subtle
treehouse.
tear ran down Tish's cheek.
They just wanted to be friends, and I never expected this day to come. How wonderful.
Chapter 7. Into the Hive. A good heist requires preparation, and thorough preparation takes time. Something they had precious little of. So far, everything was in order. Jeff, Iggy, and Tish all agreed to do their part. Beck radioed Luka that night with a simple and covert message. "We're locked and loaded on my end. And Rolo, after a lengthy confession, managed to persuade Roxy and Fitz to help. He stowed away in mission control for the night to avoid attracting attention. Rolo, being uniquely suited for the role, would be the first to breach Perennial Harvest. The outfit provided by Jeff wasn't perfect, but a convincing disguise is 10% wardrobe, 90% confidence.
I wonder if it's a hazmat
Rolo
suit.
took a few vigorous breaths and shook out
Nope,
his
it's just a
arms.
mustache. He's a plumber. Just stay calm, Rolo. You can do this. Delivery man, what are you? Got your delivery here. A delivery? I don't have anything in my notes about a delivery. One moment. Move, can't move. I'm so sorry, but there's no delivery scheduled for this morning. Right.
Quick.
That's because this goes directly to the founder. He asked that it be kept
Rolo
secret.
sighed, adjusting his tool belt.
You know how the founder can be. I suppose we can leave this one off the records. Our harvest awaits and
With
such.
a stroke of his mustache, Rolo proceeded into the Perennial Harvest headquarters.
Our harvest awaits. Package here for the founder? Oh, I didn't hear anything about. Yeah, this is a need to know kind of thing. I'll just check.
And flipped through the pages of his clipboard.
This goes directly to the founder. I don't have time to fill you in. Oh, I see. If you could just complete this
Rolo
form.
interrupted with urgency in his voice.
Every time with the forms. Look, if you want to explain to the founder why I'm late, well, it's your funeral. I'm sorry. What did you say your name was again?
Rolo panicked.
Our harvest awaits. Sir, that's a restricted area. Excuse me, sir. Our harvest awaits. Ready to light this candle, Tish? Yup. Suck on this, perennial ham fist. What was that?
The distraction was enough for Rolo to regain his confidence.
Just open the damn door. I've got a job to do.
The clipboard fumbled around in a frenzy.
I should check on that noise. Oh, come on. Just buzz me in already. Oh, okay. Phew, that was close. Our harvest awaits? Hey, I figure when in doubt, stick with the classics? Well, that was a close one. But you pulled it off. Nice work, Rolo. All right, everyone knows what to do. Yep, deep engineering is to the north. I'll go with Beck, in case she needs some muscle. I'll head east to the founder's office. You two be safe. Locate the founder's office. So can't go that way. We have to go this way. Oh, nope, I guess not that way. Go this way. That's odd. There's not even any cups for the water. Oh, this is gonna be a maze, isn't it? Oh no. You can do it. A hallway to nowhere. What's going on here? This sort of mind game? We're gonna get lost. Plant. Solomon
stopped in his tracks.
Luka, what are you doing here? It's a long story. Are you okay?
An air of confusion flashed across Solomon's face. His words rushed out dramatically.
No, I am most certainly not okay. Some strange people grabbed me in. Were they in hazmat suits? Yes, how did you know? They brought me here and locked me up, and when they were distracted, I ran. Dang, okay, you should stick with me. We've got a plan.
Solomon's facade briefly faltered.
We? Yeah, Rolo and Beck are headed to deep engineering. Thank heavens you found me. We've got to get out of here. We can't just leave yet. But they'll catch us again. I've got to do something first. When you were running, did you happen to see a door marked Founder? Founder? Why are you looking for him? I'm not. I just need to get into that office. Now that you mention it, I do think I saw a door that said Founder. It was just down this
Luka
way.
happened to notice a plaque above the door.
Office of the Founder. Knocking comes with consequence. Oh, here it is. So it is. It's pretty lucky that I ran into you, or else I might have missed it. Truly unfortunate. Luka tried the handle. Locked.
Solomon leaned forward to examine the mechanism.
Regrettably, it seems to be some sort of electric lock. I don't see how we could possibly defeat a lock like
Luka
that.
smiled and looked at his watch.
Let's just wait a minute. Let's whack the electrics. I don't know what sort of funny business you're up to, but I like it.
She mimed a quick hat tip and ambled off with a whistle.
Howdy. Good afternoon.
The light on the keypad changed from red to green.
How did you do that? It's good to have friends. Quick, let's get inside before someone spots us. He was trying to get him to not go in
Luka
there.
switched on his walkie-talkie.
Rolo, I'm in. As expected, there's a control panel. Great timing. We're stuck at locked door marked 24601. Need you to get us through. What if someone catches us? We should get out of here. I'm not leaving my friend Solomon.
On the computer screen, a green cursor blinked in a password field.
Surely you don't have a way to get around the password.
Luka pecked out his best guess. Underground secrets. The screen blinked to life. Columns of green numbers glowed on a black background.
How did you guess that? Oh, it's this absurd password Rolo heard when he was down here before. It's funny how someone arrogant enough to call themselves the Founder uses such a basic password. Or they were thinking several moves ahead, not expecting anyone to guess something so simple. These villain types always end up outsmarting themselves.
Solomon's jaw clenched into a half smile.
Your powers of deduction are as impressive as your luck.
Luka quickly scanned the columns for number 24601.
Rolo, I think this should do it. Bingo, bingo, doors open. Luka, you never fail to impress. What is that slippery lout even doing down here? We have a friend whose mom is in trouble. We're here to get her out. I see. Okay, Luka, I think we're close. The next door is marked 13806.
Once again, Luka scrutinized the numbers on the screen. In that moment of distraction, Solomon reached forward and pressed a large red button.
Maybe this one opens the lock. Crap, we've got company. Luka, must go faster. 1 sec, I can't think with all this
He quickly
noise.
skimmed the screen with his finger.
Here it is, 13806. Go, go, go. Curse these fumbling hands. My apologies, Luka. Don't beat yourself up. I know you were just trying to help. See, in this branch, Luka doesn't realize Solomon's really sharper. Aw, man. No water cups. Rolo. Rolo, are you okay? Rolo, come in.
Mr. Kerr approached with a sneer and spoke into his walkie-talkie.
You can turn off the alarms. They're trapped.
With self-satisfaction, he called into the hallway.
That, my dears, is a dead end. Nowhere to run. Rolo, where are you? Are you okay? Yeah, I think we lost him. Making our way back to Nellie's office. Okay, you two rabble-rousers are coming with us. Nope. Make a break for it. Did that little shit just kick me? Don't just stand there after them. Okay, I think that worked. Roxy and Fitz have them on a wild goose chase. I'm having trouble following what just happened. Like I said, it's good to have friends. Rolo, how long do you think Roxy can distract them? How long can Roxy keep someone so pissed off they can't see straight? Let's just say we've got time. Entering Nellie's office now. Mom! Oh, honey, what did you do to your hair? I thought you'd be happy. I finally used the young chemist lab kit. You sure have a knack for making me incredibly proud in the most frustrating ways. We need to get you out of here. We? Who is your adult friend? Oh, I'm not an adult. Adults. Ever heard of growth spurts? I had more of a growth spew. No, that's not
Nellie
possible.
leaned over to examine his teeth.
Substantial banding on the enamel of the molars consists with Tempest aquarium exposure. Is that what you call that gunk they forced me to drink? You drank it? Oh no. They told me it was only being tested on plants. Oh, Beck, sweetie, I promise I didn't know. Mom, what the hell is going on in this place? I was brought here to work on the discovery of a lifetime. A novel chemical compound was discovered under Beacon Pines in a wellspring they called the Source. They named it Tempest Aquarium Mine. I can't say that right. It pulls energy from its surroundings in order to fundamentally alter matter's relationship to time. It was the secret to Valentine's fertilizer. They harvest the source infusing small amounts of Tempest liquamine into products. It worked wonders, drastically accelerating plant growth. Crops would be ready to harvest in a fraction of the time, but it led to complications. The foul harvest. Perennial Harvest came in to clean up the mess to succeed where Valentine failed. But Tempest liquamine is rebellious. Rebellious? You can think of it as a manifestation of change itself. It's vital, but it's by its very nature. So the more you try to force it to do something specific, the more it resists. Yes, I can relate to that. My role was to finish the work of my professor, Dr. Prescott. Harnessing Tempest liquamine is reliably manipulating an organism's age. Just imagine how many people we could feed. Mr. Kerr was very insistent that we achieve a successful result before today's festival. But you didn't,
Nellie
right?
sighed.
You know how much I love a good puzzle. I poured myself into the problem. It wasn't long until I discovered oddities in Dr. Prescott's notes. Oddities? They contained obvious errors, mistakes that someone of his reputation would never make. So I fixed them and now I get to replace my entire wardrobe. I really am truly sorry. Man, these clothes were all hand-me-downs anyway. It sounds like Dr. Prescott figured it out, got cold feet, and intentionally sabotaged his own work. I had considered that possibility. I've sent a letter asking him to clarify his thinking. Mom, Mr. Prescott is dead. Kerr had him killed. What? I overheard them talking about it on the radio. It's why we gotta get you out of here. Now. Wait, the vial. I finally saw the chemical equation allowing direct control of aging. Mr. Kerr picked it up just before you came. All the more reason we gotta hightail it. Luka, we've got Dr. Modil heading your way now. Roger that, be careful. Alright, everything's on track. And what's your plan of escape? We'll go over everything when we get there. In the meantime, maybe we can dig up some more info. Oh my goodness. How did they find this source? That's the next question. How did they find this liquid? Hard drink for a hard man. Wow, even his alcohol is arrogant. I should just smother you right now. What's that? I said I shouldn't bother you right now. Don't be silly, you're no bother at all. Let's see what else this bad boy has on it. Secret security systems, time card logs, payroll. You know, for being so evil, this guy sure is boring.
Solomon once again muttered under his breath.
Just you wait. Huh? Oh, nothing.
Luka tugged on each of the cabinets.
Dang, this must be the good stuff. They're all locked. Perhaps he's not as careless as you suspected. So there's even books on the chair so he could sit high enough because he's so small. It looks like the founder was helping Kerr plan the festival. Why would such a secretive leader be obsessed with a party? Only time will
Luka
tell.
held his hand up to the ashtray.
Still warm. He must have been in here recently. And he's smoking. Okay. So there's nothing else in here. Gotta talk to Solomon, aka Valentine. I'm really sorry you got dragged into this mess, Solomon. You needn't worry about me. Well, I feel bad either way. We're gonna get you out of this, I promise.
With a subtle, quivering lip, a smile crawled across Solomon's face. They heard the trampling of frantic footsteps from the hallway.
Lock it, lock it, lock it! Locked. That was close. When we left Nellie's office, it was swarming with clipboards. We barely got away. Did they follow you? Rolo, before you start tossing blame around, it is possible someone ordered a pizza. Why would he order a pizza? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Definitely not pizza. What now? Don't look at me. I'm officially retiring from this heisting business. We're so sorry for the inconvenience. We just have a few quick questions. Just let me think. Can someone watch the door? Of course. He's gonna open it. Everyone else huddle up. Oops. I think this little caper has gone on long enough. Solomon, no. Hush now, child. The adults are speaking. Dr. Modal, a brief reintroduction is in order. We've never met in person, but we have corresponded. You see, it was I who hired you. Solomon, the pathetic orphan child. The powerful and enigmatic founder. Sharper, the fallen progenitor who created this town. Perennial Harvest, Valentine Festival. Story, so much story. All connected by a single thread, yours truly. But that's...
Her eyes searched the floor in thought.
Like, this whole center branch is like, everything is starting to, like, come together.
Solomon watched eagerly, waiting for the flicker of epiphany.
We had a few more, and we had to use them to get everyone to help Luka and get inside. But I have a feeling there's another combination we're going to need to do. I think that this branch is going to go off in 2 more branches.
With a sickened look, she peered into his soul.
Huh? Well, so if there was a part... Huh? Oh, yeah, no, I switched it out for something else. I wanted to see what this one did. I still have access to it. I just don't have it up. This is a new little guy. It's called Pando. They just released their little ghosty guy. Ah, yes. Now you've got it. Tempest Liquamine. You discovered how to reverse the process.
Solomon clapped with genuine delight.
Very good, Dr. Modal. Very good. But the discovery wasn't intentional.
Solomon glanced down, examining his youthful form.
And the effects went a little too far for my tastes. That's why you needed me to finish Dr. Prescott's work, which you did admirably. Mr. Kerr, the vial, please.
Kerr presented it with a theatrical twirl of the hand.
Drop it! Break it! Somebody hit it! The 8th wonder of the
Before
world.
he could finish, Rolo snatched the vial from Kerr's palm.
Good job, Rolo. Wow, this stuff sounds pretty valuable. Be careful, you fool. You have no idea what you have in your hand. Actually, we do. You just did a whole evil villain monologue thingy about
Rolo
it.
casually tossed the vial to Luka.
Gosh, maybe I'll have a
Luka
taste.
jiggled the vial mockingly.
Seize him. Luka, over here. Move another inch and I smash
She held
it.
tightly behind her back. Solomon sighed, speaking in crisp, measured syllables.
You have no plan. I'll smash it, I swear. Fine, risk killing us all. Or if you're lucky, nothing happens, then what? We capture you and grant you much less
He
leniency.
pursed his lips with feigned sincerity.
But I give you my word, if you hand it over now, none of you will be harmed.
Deep uncertainty washed over Beck.
You're a smart girl, Beck. But there's no shame in being outwitted by someone smarter than you. We both know there is only one way this
She
ends.
looked to Nellie shakily. With a dispirited nod, Nellie sighed in defeat. Beck slowly approached Solomon.
That's a good girl. Beck, don't do it. We can't trust that jerk. I'm sorry, he's
With
right.
apprehension, Beck conceded. Solomon pocketed the vial and brushed off his shoulder with a sharp flick.
Beck's all talk. She could have just not done that. Mr. Curry, you've allowed yourself to be humiliated by a group of children. Report to my office tomorrow for a performance
The
review.
blood drained from Kerr's face.
Of course, sir. But first, you have a speech to make. Trot out there and give me the introduction I deserve. And don't forget to smile. Yes, sir. Unless maybe she switched it for something. And to think all of this is thanks to the efforts of Mr. Van Horn. I don't understand. How is this all because of me? Ha, I said Mr. Van Horn, silly child. Dr. Walt Van Horn. Your father was always a thorn in my side. I offered him an opportunity to be a part of something great. The fool was blinded by righteousness. He even broke into my laboratory in an attempt to sabotage my
Solomon
work.
shook his head with gratification.
But the universe has a funny way of correcting course. By meddling with a force he didn't understand, Walt showed me its true potential. As fate would have it, Luka, your father's dying act was to grant me eternal
A
life.
muffled applause resonated faintly through the walls.
Well, that's my cue. After the festivities and my subsequent ascension, I will return to deal with you all. Until then, I suggest you use this time to reflect on the magnitude of your failure. You three keep post outside the door. I thought he was going to say that Luka is his father. That he's really Walt. Well, crap. I can't believe Beck sold us out like that. I'm not sure she had any other choice. So what now? What's the plan? I don't have one. Of course you do. You always have a plan. Rolo, you just need some time. Rolo, it's over. We lost. No, we didn't. I think Beck switched it with
Nellie
something.
was staring at the floor, deep in thought.
Luka, sorry, Luka. Give me a minute to calm my mind. Hey, I'm sorry, Luka. I did what I had to do. I know, it's just we were so close. I've got a feeling that eventually Solomon will get what's coming to him. Time wounds all heals? Well, time seems like less of an issue for him now. Maybe she'll have like an anti-serum? There's something you should know. After Mr. Kerr locked me into that office, I had nothing but time and curiosity. What? Heals, hell, heals. H-E-E-L. What word is that? I poked around a bit, hoping to find a means of escape, but I found something else. Did I read that wrong? I didn't read that wrong. It was H-E-E-L, not H-E-A-L. And as you can already tell, I have a hard time saying words. A note hidden in a false drawer. What sort of note? Dr. Prescott must have sensed his time at Perennial Harvest was growing short, so he left behind a letter with the hope it would be found by his successor. It was a confession of sorts. He left it to me, but its contents... Classic mumbles. Sorry, I mumbles. Words are hard, okay? Luka, I think they were meant for you. Why? What did it say? It was about an incident with your mother. Dr. Prescott found her in his lab with a stolen key card. There was an accident? She had been exposed to the extreme amounts of Tempest liquamine.
Color dropped from Luka's face.
She survived. Dr. Prescott decided to help her recover. He no longer trusted Perennial Harvest, so he kept her whereabouts a secret. Over time, your mother led him to reconsider the purpose of scientific discovery. Science is often at the vanguard of change, but that doesn't mean it's always right. He realized that no one should have control over something as powerful as time itself. I now believe that's why he began to intentionally sabotage his own work. And it cost him his life. That's a reasonable
Luka
conclusion.
was overwhelmed with emotion.
But if she's alive, where has she been? Where is she now?
A sudden explosion sounded from the hull.
Yeah, because we're stuck in here, and then we
Chapter
weren't
8.
able to stop Gran from throwing the fire into the pit.
Comeuppance.
Or there is no pit. She couldn't stop him.
Ears still ringing, Gran picked herself up off the ground. Through the dust and smoke, she looked over to see Mrs. Fratelli helping Hiram Tolliver to his feet. She'd had to beg, borrow, and steal to acquire those explosives. How many nights had she spent visualizing how she'd use them to make things right? And now, her one shot at destroying the source, that damned hole that swallowed so much of her life, was gone. Traded for this jagged hole in a wall and a foolhardy shot at rescuing Rolo. With Fratelli and Tolliver at her side, she stepped through.
Eat my food before it
was
gets
a strange
cold.
feeling. The last time she'd stalked this maze of hallways, it was in a different body. They quickly rounded a corner to find a group of clipboards guarding a door. Something worth guarding is probably something worth seeing. She leapt forward, brandishing her cane. If her last chance at vengeance for things lost was truly gone, she would just have to fight to keep what she still had.
Who's knocking at the door? Nobody saved us. Gran, what are you doing here? Luka, what are you doing here? We're here to save Nellie. We're here to save Rolo. Hey, Miss Luka's Gran. That's awful nice of you, but I'm fine. Oh no, what did they... Gran, there's no time to explain. We have to go now. Come on, everyone. We've got a party to crash.
They made their way out from deep within Perennial Harvest, just as Solomon finished up his speech.
Thankfully, we can dispense with the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket.
We've got to stop him.
In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
No! Well, I guess that's it. We lost. I wouldn't be so sure about that. I knew it. She switched it with something.
With a mischievous look, Beck elbowed Luka. Remember when I had the vial behind my back?
I might have tweaked this wonder potion with a little junk chance or malice. One of these is gonna give. I'm guessing these might be 3 different endings, maybe. Let's start with junk.
I might
A little
have tweaked
junk.
his wonder potion with a little junk.
Can't wait to see the look on his face when he realizes he drank his own cigar ash. Gross. How did ashes get into that vial? It was pretty easy to mess with the vial when it was behind my back. Oh, that's sneaky. Well, it's a bad habit anyways. Pa always says bad habits are like 50-yard field goals. What? Hard to kick. You can all call me Sharper
His
Valentine.
body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
Is he gonna mutate horribly? Or is he gonna actually change? Nothing happened. Oh, he turned to ash. We Thanos'd him. Well, that's one way to kick a bad habit. Okay, I don't think we want to kill
The last
him.
of what was once Sharper Valentine wafted into the air, the crowd began to disperse, still numb from what they had just observed. Sharper Valentine was gone for good. His end would be a new beginning for Beacon Pines.
That's what I do in games. Yeah, I kill everyone.
A new chance to let go of the things they had lost and grab hold of a new future.
There's gotta be a game I play that are these, like, pick your own adventures that I don't kill everyone.
The end.
There's got to be one that has a good ending.
Well, I'd be lying if I said that wasn't a bit gratifying. If that feels to you like a good note to end on, I won't stand in your way.
No, I want to do it again. Let's try chance. I think my workday is done in the next 15 minutes. Otherwise, I go over by too many hours. Don't go over. You'll get in trouble. Let's do chance.
I might have tweaked
Video
his
games
wonder
time,
potion with a
hey!
little
Video games all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like pocket change. You're unlucky penny. Yeah, I plopped it in the vial when no one was looking. What's that going to do? No idea. That's the beauty of science. Now we observe. You can call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and
What's gonna happen? Is he gonna turn to stone? Is he gonna become a statue? Or did he... Oh, he got even younger. Yeah, but he's still sharper, right? What he was no longer matters. This is an innocent child. Not with that look. That look does not say innocent child. That look says, I know what you did. Father has caused
Eris
you.
awkwardly cradled the squirming child. She looked to her brother, her voice shaking with uncertainty.
Augustus, what do? We do what Valentines always do. What must be done? I'll hurry home and prepare for a crib for father or young Sharper. That would be a great help, thank you.
She looked back down at the infant with equal parts kindness and terror in her eyes. With a shake of her head, Eris addressed the crowd with a stern scowl.
Okay, everyone, the show is over now. You may leave now.
Epilogue. Beacon Pines' coldest summer on record came
We only
and
get to
went
choose the
without
two of
much
them?
fanfare. Folks shared what they had and none were left wanting. The new school year was ushered in by the falling leaves of autumn. After everything Luka, Rolo, and Beck had been through, middle school was bearable. The chill of winter didn't seem to bother people much. They kindled a hope for a better future in their hearts. When spring arrived, farmers planted their crops with a sense of joy and optimism. And as the dawn of the first day of summer came again, its light slowly spread through the shallow valley. It crept over the town square, across the river, past the neglected welcome sign, and came to rest on a young boy sleeping at dawn, his mind at peace, knowing he is here for a reason.
But I wanted to see what the third option was. Was the middle option the right one? Rolo, are you up yet? Roger that. It's a beautiful day at Mission Control. You gonna swing by? Be there in a minute. Okay, can we... See, this has 3 branches on it. So this is just continuing the chance branch. And then we can do it again and do malice. And I think that's the whole tree. So let's keep going. See where this ends.
Over time, Eleanor began moving Walt's old things out of the closet and into storage. Eleanor had moved back into her bedroom, and now that she wasn't sneaking out late, she even slept there most nights.
Do we think Grant... I keep calling her Gran. She's not Gran. She's our mom. She's really our grandma. See if she's in the backyard. Oh, she's in the kitchen. Mom, I'm ready to go now. You can go without me. I'll meet you there. I've got a batch of jam to finish jarring. It's funny. I only started making jam as a way to avoid... I only started making jam as a way to send messages without anyone noticing. But now I enjoy it. Shoo shoo, child. Leave me to my canneries. Okay, treehouse would be this way. Oh, they're planting trees. Why are you planting trees? I hear you and Rolo have big plans for that little tree house. Yeah, it started getting crowded after we revoked the max capacity one Rolo, one Luka rule. So we decided to expand. But at least we've got some help with that. How's the internship at Nellie and Iona's shop going? It's been great. I'm hoping it helps me get into the School of Agriculture up at State. Also, Nellie said she'd write a letter of recommendation, which would be huge. I just can't help but worry about leaving Rolo. He's grown up so fast, but he's still my little brother. Yeah, he had a heck of a growth spurt. Like how that's how they're explaining it away. Like, nothing happened. He just had a growth spurt. It's fine. This morning, he was up and finished his chores before I even had breakfast. Well, some of that might be his excitement about the treehouse renovations. Don't tell him this, because it'll go to his head, but I'm really proud of that little punk. I'm sure he feels the same way, but he's just too dang proud to tell you. I know. Can I pick up the shovel? Nope. Hey Gus, how's the tree planting going? Couldn't be better. I'm so grateful to Iona and Nellie for letting me help. I just want built to it just wasn't built to be a mare. Too much bureaucracy. I still read that wrong. Gus just finished cleaning up the sidewalks. What's
When
next?
Perennial Harvest collapsed, most of the clipboards skipped town, but some stuck around and dedicated themselves to making things right.
Anyone with a knack for art can help paint the new offices. You can count on us. Well, it looks like you really found your calling. I never really felt comfortable telling people what to do. Now, this right here, this is something I can be proud of. So I can go straight to the treehouse, or I can run around town and talk to everyone. How's the napping this morning? The most underrated part of a good nap is the view, and the view's getting greener every day. Nice. I see you decided on a name? Yep, we had to clear out all the old stuff before putting on the final touch. Slow and Dirty Harvest is now official. I like it. It was actually Nellie's idea. There's still a lot of work to do, and the name serves as a reminder. Just because progress is important doesn't mean change should happen fast. In fact, I've learned that the more you care about something, the more important it is to take things slow. Our motto is go slow and fix things. Amen to that. I like it. Young Mr. Van Horn. How's little Solomon Sharper doing? Young Sharper seems to enjoy nature more than I, so we do a lot of strolling these days. Has he, attempted to crawl out of his crib and plot world domination? Yeah. Thankfully, no. I spoke at length with Dr. Modal, and she feels that Sharper's infant mind was not developed enough to retain his previous memories. For all intents and purposes, the child is unmolded clay. Let's hope he's a little nicer the second time around. That is the objective, yes. But really, all I can do is try and hope. 2 activities I am endeavoring to find less distasteful. Well, I think you're doing a great job, and the whole town is ready to help out however we can. We can't wait to teach him to throw a baseball.
Alice did her best to ignore the tears welling in her eyes.
That would be acceptable. Yeah, all she cared about was legacy. Luka, do you want a biscuit, Scotty? On the house. I don't really have time. Zariel, you gotta come and see this. I finally did it. I pulled the perfect espresso. Aw, Lumi. If I didn't know better, I would think you're proud of something. As if I know it's too late. You are now officially a person that cares. That's like the teenagers of the town. It looked to his friends with a thankful smile after everything that could have gone wrong, everything that did go wrong. We made it. The end.
Closing her eyes, Miss Hatch took a deep, relaxing breath.
It's the first time she's gonna look up. Oh, hello, Luka. How are you? Really good, actually. That's wonderful. Did I miss anything? I think you're pretty much up to speed. See, I'm gonna just go this way. I'm thinking this person might be somebody that was shrunken down too. They haven't done anything with them. Luka, can I interest you in a delicious apple?
He playfully waggled an apple.
No, thank you. Just saying hello. Well, hello then. Mind telling your mom we need a new crate of jam? Already? It's funny, I used to hide this stuff in the back. Terrified that someone would find out about our secret messages. Now everyone wants to get their hands on Eleanor Van Horn's famous spy jam. Yum! Spy jam, the best kind of jam. Hey Luka, can you tell Roxy I'll be free in an hour? Sure thing. My dad's making me stock the shelves for the summer. He said it builds character. I think he meant to say it builds calluses. Builds character. Yeah, it builds something, alright. It is not too much trouble. For the longest time, I don't understand the appeal of ice cream. It serves no purpose, other than to be briefly enjoyed and then it's gone. But it's pretty tasty while it lasts. I'm inclined to agree. I'm wondering if that person, like I said, is like somebody that was shrunken or de-aged. What's today? The news that needs knowing. I'll give you the tomorrow's headline today. Our old friend Patrick C. Montesquieu, aka William Kerr, just performed a stirring rendition of The Iceman Cometh and the state correctional facility. I hear there wasn't a dry eye in the house. Well, I guess he was plenty of time to work on his craft. Okay, let's go this way. We still have the diner to go to, and then we can get to the treehouse. More follow-up questions for your story? Nope, I got everything I need. Thanks again for that. I sent a draft for the story to a reporter in Capital City, and they have offered me an internship. Of course they did. You're an amazing reporter. I don't know about all that. A story about a phony corporation that picked up an entire town of people and moved them over to cover up a massive illegal mine shaft full of incredibly hazardous chemicals sort of writes itself if you think about it. Just don't forget us when you become a fancy big city reporter. Capital City isn't that far away. I'm gonna have to come back from time to time to check in and see what sort of new trouble you've gotten yourself into. Sorry to disappoint, but my adventuring days are over. Huh, we both know that's not true. What makes you say that? Call it a reporter's intuition. I'm stuck on a chair. Can I talk to you? Nope. Why does she have a suitcase? Is she leaving town?
Mrs. Fratelli glowed with a carefree smile.
Is that your suitcase? That is 2 weeks of unencumbered tranquility. Excuse me, would you be so kind as to take my order? 2 weeks of sand, margaritas, and forgotten obligations. Excuse me, I'd love to place an order.
Mrs. Fratelli sighed with a zen-like calm.
Just as soon as the lunch rush ends, I'll be a feather on the wind. You're going on vacation for the first time in years, and I've got you and your mom to thank. Why's that? She didn't tell you yet? You two are gonna fill in for me at the diner while I'm gone. Just like old times. It's fine, I'll wait. Poor dude. Just wants his food. Okay, up we go. Should I go this way? I don't think there'd be anyone over here. Oh, Mr. Nuncreed. Who are all these bunnies? Hiya, Mr. Nuncreed. I'm gonna go see my dad in a bit. Did you want to come with? Even after everything I did, you'd still...
Mr. Nuncreed shook his head.
You really are your father's son, aren't you? I don't think I'm ready for that yet. Well, you're always invited. I bet he'd love to hear from you. I'll visit Walt in my own time. You run along now. So many characters. It's amazing how many characters they created for this.
Luka peeked over Piper's shoulder. Laid stealthily inside a large volume of mathematics was the first issue of Hank Atomic.
Piper, are you reading Hank Atomic? Do you mind not telling anyone? I've kind of got a reputation to uphold. Oh, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Just about every kid in town reads Hank Atomic. Honestly, I'm excited for you. What I'd give to start over fresh, to experience it again for the first time. I guess that's the downside of finishing something nice. At least now I can enjoy it again through you. Promise to tell me about it as you go. Sure thing. Let's finish this up.
Over the school year, Kato and Bert had become close friends.
You did know that. When they covered up the source, they found a new species of fungus. Yep, and they were studying it in the new labs. Did you know that? Beacon Pines is now the smallest town in the country. Yep, close to the population before Perennial Harvest moved in.
It typically went on like this for quite some time.
These two are the know-it-alls of town. I can't believe it's over. Yeah, the town's really starting to turn a new leaf. The town I was talking about, Hank Atomic. I just finished the last issue. How was it? As great as always. Hank finally returned to Earth, but I just feel weird now. Weird can be cool. It just means you're ready for something new. Any suggestions? You could ask Mrs. Hatch about what she's always reading. She seems to really enjoy it. Maybe I'll do that. We only have a few more areas to get through to talk to people. So we already talked to him. I've never seen these bunnies before.
With Perennial Harvest gone, the transportation tubes were left unused.
Come on, come on. No one is too big, no one is too small for Jeff's wild ride. Well, maybe not completely unused. Just one piece of candy for the ride of your life. Don't give candy to old men, strange old men who say you want a ride of your life. Who's next? Me. Guess what? Yesterday I was at I saw a Dynasty's what? And that's good? It's great. I haven't spotted one in those in years. At this rate, Beacon Pines is going to become the bug capital of the county. So all of this is still mutated. I don't think I can go this way.
After the foul harvest destroyed their wealth and reputation, the Valentines shuttered off their estate from the...
Okay, so nothing different there. And the moms are over here, so I don't need to go further down that route to get to their house. So now we just need to go to the tree house. Let's go. Top our way there. Luka, get this. I managed to reel in an actual fish this morning. Seriously? Yeah, honest to goodness. Flip-flopping, swam-swamming fish. I don't think I've ever caught an actual fish here. Been at least 7 years since I caught one. I'd say it's a good omen. What do you do with the fish? Oh, I realized I released it back into the pond. I'm hoping to catch it again tomorrow. Let's see if we can use the new word that we found. Oh, we don't have any more. Never mind.
Luka gently baked good for skim.
Let's just leave. Thought we would have gotten another word there. A little higher. Yep. A little lower. Yep. Little higher. Yep. I'm telling you, the angle isn't the issue. We need more power to the radiator radio. Luka, there you are. Would you tell him it's not the angle? Hey, I'm not in charge of the antenna redesign. Fine. Iggy, just don't do anything drastic until we get back. Who, me? Tish, you're in charge while I'm gone. Yep. Where are we going? It'll be fine, right? It'll be fine. If we really want mission control to turn into something bigger and better, we have to loosen our grip a bit. You're right. Lead the way. Oh, of course. We have to go back the way I came. At least we don't have to talk to anyone. So let's just run straight over there. So they were living in the house the Valentines had, like their cottage. Like their gardener cottage. We're almost there. There's Beck. I have news I think you'll enjoy. This morning I unpacked my last box. You're officially moved in? It's just a box. Let's just blow this out of proportion. Let's not blow this out of proportion. It sounds an awful lot like putting down roots. I guess I decided this place is root worthy. You're gonna be stuck with me for the foreseeable future. I do have to warn you, most years aren't going to be as interesting as this one. I think I'll manage. Ready? Before we go, there's a bit of a surprise. My mom's prepared this tree especially for you. They didn't have to do that. It wasn't just them. Just about the whole town pitched in. We all owe you. It should do okay in the cold of old Beacon Pines and thrive as things warm up. That's perfect. You ready to take Jeff's wild ride to Old Beacon Pines? Okay, let's go. We're gonna go plant this at his dad's real gravesite. It's the same tree that he was buried under that we start the entire game with. You got it! Now that's a good looking tree. Being a special occasion and whatnot, that rides on the house. You're gonna want to hang on tight to that little tree. Down we go. Oh, sweet.
I think this is it. The end I've been waiting for. Honestly, I'd begun to lose hope of ever finding it. But then you came along. I don't know exactly how to thank you. It's hard to explain how much this means to me. It's funny, now that our time together is finally ending. I'm at a loss for words. Let's just watch the end together.
Done. A good little tree. The best little tree. Thank you, children. This means a lot. Yeah, thanks for everything. Shucks, I only did what any super awesome best buddy would have done. Oh my gosh, we should probably give you some time alone now. I don't know why my brain tries to rewrite things. It drives me crazy. You good? Yeah, I am. It's been a wild year. How are you feeling? Everyone keeps asking me that. I'm fine, really. Pa always says the only thing fitter than a fiddle is a cello. I feel like a dang cello. Well, if you ever stop feeling like a cello, I'm here for you. I know, you don't even have to say it. You two make an awesome pair. Excuse me? We're a trio now. Yep. Thanks. There's just one thing missing now that you're a part of our group. Missing? Let me tell you a little story about a man named Hank Atomic. Oh god. I won't be long. We'll be waiting for you back at the phone booth. I found the perfect way to start our summer. You've got some good friends. I'm so proud of you. Your father would be so proud. I know. Mom, can I ask you a question? Do you ever dream about Dad? Not at night. Not a night goes by that I don't. Are you ever afraid that you're going to forget him? Forget what he looked like? Forget his voice? No, because so much of him lives on in you. He loved that old tree, but I know he would have loved this one more. Because its two favorite people planted it. I'll give you two a moment. Hey, Dad. Dr. Modal says that over the next few years this place should warm up, so you won't have to be so cold for much longer. I think I finally understand why you left that night. There were things you believed in, big things. Those beliefs were the things that made you you. If you wouldn't have stood up to Sharper, stood up for what you believed in, you would have been the same person anymore. You had to go, but that didn't mean you loved us any less. I might not visit as much as I used to. I know you understand. The end. It's so cute. It's sad and beautiful all at the same time. I can't do anything. Not really the end? Oh, the light went out! That was awesome! That's such a good game! The way that they designed it so that you had to go back and forth between the tree branches to get all the different words and figure out the different not so much timelines, but I don't know how to explain it. Like I still have to like get it into my head. Where is this bubble? There. But yeah, like the way every tree branch went off, having to find every word and slowly getting tidbits of information as you progress through each branch. But I called it early on that Valentine, Sharper, and Solomon were the same person. I called it. I knew it. I knew it right away. I was still kind of holding out that maybe that Rolo, not Rolo, but Luka was really Walter. That he just somehow got like his memory like wiped or something. That makes sense. Rolo's not the bad guy. Rolo's the best. Rolo was amazing. Rolo's adorable. He's cute, funny, and the bestest best friend ever. You're just jealous of Rolo. I knew it. I knew that's what it was. You were jealous of Rolo. And it. Luka's the bad guy. I knew it. What a punk. Luka was just he was just sad and wanted to see his dad and have a great summer. But then things all blew up and it froze multiple times. No, the real bad guy is Tish. Because she just says, yup. That's it. I don't think there's anything at the end of the credits. Let's see if I can skip through it. What did you guys think? What do you guys think of the story? What game will be completing next? I think next week I'm going to start Hellblade since it's Halloween and it like Halloween month. And Hellblade 2 is supposed to be coming out later this month or next month. So I want to get that done so that we can jump into the second one. And then Scorn comes out early, so I'll probably jump on that too. So it's gonna be slow going at getting these games done. I think so. From what I understand, Hellblade 1 is fairly short. Let me look it up. Hellblade 2. Release date. Yeah, so we have those Microsoft Dolby headphones. I don't know if that's what they actually are, but we have the newer Microsoft headphones for Xbox. So I'm gonna play with those because those are supposed to have like a lot of stuff to it. Oh, something's happening. Soccer ball. What is happening? Hold on. Wait a second, sir. Wait a second. He's still moving. Something's happening. Why did he have a soccer ball? What happened? Is this an MCU game? No. What happened? Something happened. post-credit scene. It was. Is it because of that other branch? It's because of this third branch that's here. Oops, oops, oops. I did the wrong button. For malice. Because we had a third word.
I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little malice.
What is that gonna do, though? The whiskey from his office. Yep, dude had an unfinished flask at his desk. Figured his grow juice could use a little hair for the dog. The true ending? Maybe. Maybe the true ending is everyone dies. Sharper Valentine.
And face.
I didn't think it would let me go back to this one. He just poofed. Why he just poof? Rolo, now that's what I call 80 poof whiskey. Damn, dude.
The crowd gazed in stunned silence at the now empty stage. The quiet was broken when William Kerr sprinted off stage and into the distance. He was never seen around Beacon Pines, or anywhere else for that matter, again. Watching the silhouette of Kerr disappear over the horizon, Luka began to laugh. First, a low chuckle that became uncontrolled, heaving laughter. Through his tears, he was vaguely aware that the crowd had begun to laugh with him. The end. That was unexpected.
It was unexpected.
Perhaps a bit of an absurd ending for my taste, but who am I to say? I'm only writing the damn thing.
Okay, so the tree's complete. But why did it end with a soccer ball in that other scene? Right, we got all the words. Like, you have to get all the words. There's no way around it. Okay, I guess that's really the ending. Our true ending is that he just poofed into confetti. He had the Halo skull activated and it was hooray! The end.